Justin Trudeau is known as the selfie prime minister, and while he did indeed capture the enthusiasm of millennial voters like no other Canadian politician has in recent years. But Justin Trudeau is now actually the oldest of the three major party leaders. At 45, he's a full 7 years older than 38-year-olds Andrew Scheer and the newly minted Jagmeet Singh of the NDP. So how exactly is Justin Trudeau planning to keep hold of young voters next time around? Well, in part, he has this initiative called the Prime Minister's Youth Council. 30 Canadians aged 16 to 24 make up this council, and they meet several times a year to advise Justin Trudeau on issues such as the economy, education, climate change, and other youth issues. Sounds good, right? You gotta get those millennials engaged in the political process. The problem? It sounds like it's becoming a big waste of your taxpayer money, and in true Liberal style, just a hint of elitism as well. Thanks to a recent order paper question from New Democrat MP Ann Min Thu Quach, we learned that the total budget for the entire office, that includes all the bureaucrats hired to run the whole operation, is $7.5 million over 5 years. And you can see that they've already spent about $100,000 so far on meetings since the council was put together back in 2016. Plenty of money allocated for per diems, hospitality, and travel for this youth council. And in total, over the 5 years, they budgeted for $2 million to be spent on these meetings alone. $2 million for Justin Trudeau to hang out with teenagers and other young people and do what? Discuss his sock choices? Maybe to enjoy cool hotel rooms and free meals and a sample what life is like as a government bureaucrat or politician. Far be it for me to judge what are likely well-intentioned teenagers and other young people enjoying traveling around the country on the government's dime. But is this actually helping craft a national youth policy across the country, or is this just another new bloated bureaucracy with cushy salaries designed as a re-election tool for Justin Trudeau? Well, in the order paper question, we also find out that there's a $5 million budget for salaries for only 8 people. That comes to around $125,000 a year for each of them. Talk about an egregious waste of tax dollars. How could these 8 individuals possibly need salaries like this to select and organize a 30-person youth council that meets several times per year with Justin Trudeau? Sometimes in an era of multi-billion-dollar federal budgets, it might seem trivial for me to call the use of a few $1,000,000 for a youth council as a waste of money. But it's a tiny window into a much bigger problem of fiscal mismanagement and a massive revenue problem for this Liberal government. We know Justin Trudeau promised modest deficits in the last election campaign, but when you take an inherited surplus and turn it into a deficit approaching $20 billion a year, there is a systemic spending problem in Ottawa. Sure, a couple million for meetings and $5 million more budget for salaries might be a drop in the bucket comparatively, but there is little evidence this youth council is actually addressing any serious issues for young voters. Instead, it appears to be simply acting as an avenue to continue Justin Trudeau's popularity and lock up that youth vote. I don't think it's a big deal when government or politicians want to attract more young voters or get more young people involved in the political process. Millennials are going to make up the biggest generational block of voters next election, surpassing boomers. And I fully expect Andrew Scheer and Jagmeet Singh to join Justin Trudeau in courting their votes. But glamorizing a 30-person youth council as some kind of important bureaucracy with fancy meetings is just sending the wrong message. We need to end these kinds of swampy initiatives with big-time salaries for the bureaucrats involved and get back to a balanced budget. And even then, we still have to understand that respect for the tax dollar and the taxpayer should be the first consideration before any new initiative. And that's especially important when we're talking about the youth and generations of debt to come for them to pay off. For the Rebel.media, I'm Christopher Wilson. Thanks a lot for watching. The media wrote us off as dead and gone back in August, but we're not going anywhere. In fact, we're ramping it up. We've got a bunch of brand new shows coming your way this fall. To find out what's coming, check out therebel.media/shows.